Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Walls and Ceilings, and welcome to If Walls Could Talk. I'm so excited and honored to have with me today. We've got Kyle Flonder with USG, the product manager, and I've got Brian Lee, who's the regional sales manager for Gypsum. Brian and Kyle, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Happy to be here.
Very fun. Well, we got some great things to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the innovation at USG is always amazing. You guys are always innovating and innovators for sure. But Kyle, let's start with you. Tell everybody, what does everybody need to know? What's happening when it comes to innovation at USG?
So we have a new product that we're introducing. We're proud to build upon that history of innovation, as you mentioned, that USG has, and excited to introduce this new product that's really focused on adding value to the pro-residential sector. So innovation really starts with understanding customer value. So to do so, we engaged with hundreds of different builders, contractors, distributors to understand really where their pain points are and where we can help create more value for them. So the emergent theme that came about with all those engagements was ultimately that half-inch products used in residential sector are more susceptible to damage that occurs in transit and handling as they work on that residential sector. So our innovation team really set forth in how can we enhance the durability of these products to reduce damage and create a more resilient product.
Yeah, very cool. So, you know, the new product, what I want to hear more about is the USG Sheetrock brand UltraLight Tough Panels, which is a mouthful, but there's a lot that goes into that. What does everybody need to know about that?
So it's a mouthful, you're right, absolutely. Take pride in that Sheetrock brand. 16 years ago, we introduced the UltraLight products, and this is the next chapter in that innovation, introducing enhanced durability. It's where the tough comes into the name. So really, it's focused on creating a resilient product that reduces damage in transit, handling, stocking on that job site to make sure that we can create efficiencies during operation for both the distributors and contractors. So the value proposition, value add then for distributors and contractors is unique.
Yeah.
Distributors can benefit from more material fitting onto a truck. They spend less time unloading and loading trucks because there's more material with the product being lighter.
Which is always important, right? Because
always
that,
important.
You know.
So a lighter product, already lighter than the industry's lightest. The product's more durable. So its innovation, its proprietary formulation is focused on enhanced edges, which is where the panels are most susceptible to damage during their handling and installation. So the edges of the panels are those that are contacted the most, whether it be on equipment that's loading or unloading, moving it to the job site, or by the handlers that are installing it as well. So simply because they're touched the most, that's where damage can occur.
There's a lot of movement going on a job site, especially when you're installing drywall.
Exactly.
And on stilts, right? You know.
Right. The enhanced edges also help with the installation process itself. So a situation called blowout, when the fastener gets too close to the edge or there's softer edges, can occur and can become a pain point for contractors. It requires additional labor to either accommodate the panel for finishing, or we have to take that panel down and install a new sheet. So the edges help reduce the potential for the fastener blowout, which keeps the efficiency of operations, that installation, at a premium.
Absolutely. Well, clearly the renovation that I just did, we did not use this product because that was a problem. Where were you guys last year? We should have known. Anyway, Brian, let's switch over to you because there's some clear benefits to contractors as well as distributors. But let's start with the contractors. What are those benefits?
Oh, absolutely. There's several clear benefits to the contractor. So a lot of times when they get to when they have wallboard on the job sites and the edges are busted, that's more time and labor for them, having to cut those out, having to do like a pre-fill and a lot of prep work in order to start actually finishing the wallboard. If they get to a job site and there's no broken edges, as we've been talking to contractors, they've been telling us this board will save us probably at least 1 or 2 hours on the install, which is, time is money, and that's very important to them.
That's really important, yeah.
Yes.
For sure. And so, and even on the distributor side, what are some of those benefits on the distributor side?
Distributors love the lightweight, right?
Yes.
If they can get more on a truck, which means they're not having to make as many trips to the job site. We talk to the guys that are stocking it on the job site, and they're like, wow, this is so much lighter. It saves us. We still feel like we have a lot of energy at the end of the day. Yeah. The same thing goes for the contractor. They've told us the same thing too. A lot of our contractors, they can be older, and they're telling us because it is lighter, this might actually extend our careers because we're at the end of the day, we're not as exhausted or tired from hanging wallboard all day long. So.
Well, I mean, you make a great point, because not only it is a work of art when you're installing drywall, and so if you can get somebody that's a master at that, doing it longer, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so now, how about let's just talk about where it's available. But even before we start talking about that, what's are some of the other feedback that you're getting from contractors and distributors? You mentioned a few, but I know that what are they saying as well?
Yeah, the weight is a big issue.
Yes.
That it is lighter. They absolutely love that. The less broken edges or cracked edges, again, it's saving them time on labor and on their install. One of the great benefits that Kyle brought out is the blowouts on the screws.
Yeah.
So they can take that screw almost all the way out to the edge without having to worry about it blowing out. And again, if they have a blowout, they have to put additional screws in. And again, it's saving them a lot of time and effort in prepping the job site. And it also gives them a better product.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I love that you guys are helping the contractors save time, making something lighter. That's got to be safer as well for the industry. But we all know that time is money. So the innovation, of course, is really amazing. But let's also talk about the attributes.
The two principal attributes are its lightweight technology and then its enhanced durability. The lightweight, up to 12% lighter than the industry standard lightweight product, so significant weight savings there that helps reduce the wear and tear and fatigue, not only on equipment, but also on the installers. And then durability, the edges are designed to absorb up to 20% more energy from impact. Impact that can occur on a truck, on a boom, or as the installers are moving it around the house, stocking it or installing it.
Wow, that's awesome. And the other thing I wanted to ask you, Brian, is let's talk about the availability. Where, can you explain to contractors, what's the availability?
Sure, so it's currently available in the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic, and also out west. We're doing a phased approach to the rollout of the product, and so within a short period of time, it should be available throughout the country.
So tell me, what is the website? If anybody wants to go to find out, where do they go to find out more?
So the website is www.usg.com/ULT, ULT stands for UltraLight Tough.
Very nice. That makes sense. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. And if anybody has any questions for us, it is wconline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content. Follow us on our social media channels, but stay safe and healthy. We can't wait to talk to you soon. Thanks again, gentlemen.
Thanks, Jill.
All right, thank you very much.